Hi guys and gals, welcome back to Daisy Travels!
Before we begin the video, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. But if you're already a subscriber, please consider hitting that like button to get more quality videos of ours. So, what we'll be talking about today is my first day of 4th year. Ooh, I am excited. Yeah. Whoop.
Okay, so it is Zamira's first day of 4th year. And so we're getting it together and we're about to get classes going. I'm so excited. Are you excited, Z? Do you want to say anything about going into 4th year?
Well, it's pretty fun and you can learn a lot of new stuff. And yeah, and I'm in 4th grade now. Yay!
Woohoo! All right, let's get started. Unfortunately, we've been in lockdown for a little over a month, so some of the school supplies that I wanted to get for Zamira were not possible, but I hope she appreciates this. I'm gonna let her make a calendar on this side as well. And this side of the class we're gonna use for inspiration and just daily stuff. I'm trying to make the best of what I have right now, and this is what we have. So Zamira's workstation has been set up, and when she gets up, she just has to get out here and get started. And I'm using this glass wall here for her to be able to do some creativity on it, inspiration for herself. And this is going to be her workspace for the next 2 months. Yep. So we're starting off our first day blowing bubbles.
This ain't no boring classroom.
No, it ain't. I want to blow some bubbles too. Whoop. Anything else you want to share?
Got this nice note to start off my day.
Can we see it?
Sure.
Look at that. It's awesome. I love you, baby.
Love you too.
Okay, so let's get our day started for real now. We're gonna get some work done, get some learning in.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be awesome. Yes? All right.
Well, I want to thank you so much for following up with me. This has been a really difficult kind of journey for me because I was really concerned about putting myself out there, but here I am doing it because not only do I enjoy it, I think that it's necessary. Like, so many people have been asking me to do this for so long, and I have just been procrastinating. I'm not gonna say scared. Fear is no longer in my world. I have been procrastinating about everything that it is that I need to be doing. So I'm getting this together, and I thank you for your support. If you are still watching, please subscribe. Please check out all of my other videos. I'm gonna try and post something every week. Not try, I will. No more procrastination on the YouTube videos. And I would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I wanted this video to be about why I moved and the steps that I took. Well, I'm not doing the why anymore because I feel as though I've beaten that horse to death, and I just really want to focus on the steps that I took so that I can help anyone that may need a little guidance, to need a little push in making their decision to move, whether it's moving to another country, another city, you know, just moving out of your house that you're living in. Like, all of these are really huge steps that we have to take in our life. And so I think that it's important that we appreciate it for what it is and respect the process. Everything is a process, and some things are not as easy for one person as it is for another. And so I completely understand that. I've been talking to so many people, like so many people have already hit me up and been asking me questions about moving with a child. And I think that it's really important to know that there is definitely a difference with leaving wherever you are and leaving with your child and or children. So here we go. Okay, so this journey actually started when I became really, really frustrated with my job. And if I'm gonna be honest, it probably started a long time before that. I was just over being in my hometown. I wanted to be somewhere else. And I went to university in the States. And when I graduated, I kind of wanted to stay, but I didn't. I came home for love. Don't know if that's the best decision for anyone to be making, but I know that I didn't stay when I was ready to go for love, because sometimes you just gotta leave some things behind and do what you gotta do for you. And which is why my journey has now become so much about self-care and self-love. But that's another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the steps that I took. So the first thing that happened for this particular time that I decided to move was I was completely sick of my job. I had come to a place where I had to basically go in the bathroom and give myself a pep talk every single day just to get in there and get any work done, because nothing was happening. Like, I was getting migraines on the way to work. I was stressed, like my jaw started tightening up, like so many different things were happening with me, indicating that I needed to stop, but I just kept on going. That, coupled with the fact that even years before I had said that I wanted to retire, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do once I retired from being a chef, but I knew that I wanted to make some changes in my life because I wasn't genuinely happy. And I mean, you have to admit, happiness is really important. So once I had gotten to that point, I got completely fed up. I was like, okay, quit. It was a whole drama situation with this person that I was working for. They're like, you can't quit, we fire you. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really how this works. I quit. But drama. People just don't like to lose, but that's okay. I didn't like to lose either. I didn't like having to quit. Like, I don't think that I'm a quitter, but I don't think that it's so much quitting as it was just time for me to let it go and move on to the next phase, even if I had absolutely no idea what that was. I began planning to move to Canada because Canada seemed like such a viable option. I had looked into it a few years before, and so I'm like, I'm gonna make the steps that I need to take in order to move to Canada. So I did everything. Like, I got in touch with an agent, I did the IELTS, I did everything. I started processing all of my paperwork. I started saving towards that goal of moving to Canada. And then I got to this point once I had gotten all of my ducks in a row, basically. And they told me, well, your score isn't really high enough. Would you be willing to come back when you come to Canada to go to university? And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to university. Like, that's not even an option for me. I knew that that's definitely not something that I wanted to do. And I know that it's for a lot of people, it's not for me. I accept the things that are for me and don't try to put myself into any, blocks that people assign themselves to. I just really can't do it, and I'm not going to do it anymore at any point in my life anymore. So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to work, on my own. Now, initially I had planned to do this move with someone, with my significant other, who a few months before the actual move was to happen, kind of canceled the relationship. So that wasn't even an option, where that would have given strength to my application with moving to Canada. But you know, it's life. Things don't always work out the way that you plan them. So I'm like, I'm free. I don't have to consider anybody else in this decision other than my children. Like, I'm not considering any other adults, that is, you know. So where would you go if you can go anywhere in the world? So my first thing was, okay, I'm saving this money. I'm going to continue to save the money. So wherever I go, I'm going to have, you know, what it was that they had asked for in Canada. And so I started working diligently, and like the jobs were not coming. Like, I was freelancing, doing personal chef services, and they were just not coming. And then all of a sudden this amazing offer showed up, and I was scared that I was gonna lose it, and it worked out. And I am so thankful for the people that helped me to get this situation sorted out. And the first gig that they offered me was like over the weekend of my ex's birthday. And I'm like, if I hadn't broken up with this person, I wouldn't have taken this job, which has been one of the greatest jobs. Like, I had so much fun. It was such a wonderful experience. The people were awesome. They loved my food, the accommodations, like everything. The entire experience was absolutely amazing. But it was definitely the first step in me getting my bank account where I needed it to be to go wherever I wanted to go. So I have no online job skills. Like, I'm reading and watching all these videos, and everyone's like, oh, I make videos, oh, I teach English online. I'm like, I don't do any of these things, but I'm still going. So I had a plan in my head, and me sharing my plan with everyone doesn't always work the way, because they just don't understand the way that my brain works. So I kind of kept it to myself, but I definitely made my plan and what it was that I wanted to do. And I can say now that that plan was to go live, come home, recharge my bank account, and then live off of my savings. So that tells you one thing, that I really wanted to live in a very affordable country. So that was key for me. I wanted affordability and I wanted safety. Those were the top two things for me. And then right after that was food. Like, I wanted to have like excellent food experiences because I'm a foodie. I just can't get away from that. And so I started looking at all these countries. So first I had like a list of the 20 cheapest countries to live in the world. And then I came down to 10 cheapest countries to live in the world. And then I was at 5. And so I kept going through it. And I'm like, you know where you want to go? Like, you know where you want to go. And it was Thailand, and I always wanted to go there. Like, I had planned to go there like at least 3 times before. None of those trips ever worked out. And I'm like, you're gonna move across the world to a place that you've never been with all of your savings and your 8-year-old daughter. Yes, I did that. And it worked out for us, fortunately. And I'm so glad that I went, because everything about that experience taught me so much. I was not going to learn the things that I did just from watching anybody's YouTube channel. It just doesn't work that way. And so I was fortunate enough to have worked, saved that money, and been able to process a lot of things that I needed to clear up before I got out of there. And Zamira and I were gone. We left Nassau on the 7th of August, and because it was a really long trip and she had never done really long trips before, and I guess essentially I had never been on a trip this long before either, or maybe I have. No, I have, but not in a long time. So I really wanted to give her a break. So we had a layover in Atlanta. I was able to see one of my really great friends that has been my friend since I was 11 or 12 years old, so all of my life. And I hadn't seen her in a while, so I was happy to stop in Atlanta and get to see her, even though it was just a really short layover. And then we went to LA and we did 3 nights in LA, which was absolutely beautiful with my daughter. I enjoyed doing all of the scenic stuff and just everything that was California with her. I really like California, and so I was happy to do that with her, because that's some place that she always talks about, things she watches on TV, and she's like, I want to go to LA, and we definitely were able to do that and had so much fun in LA. It is insane. I was so tired where we had so much fun, but I truly enjoyed that trip. And then from LA, we went on to Thailand. And so there we were in Bangkok. And I really, really, really liked Bangkok. I'm gonna look at my notes right now. We ended up in Bangkok, and I loved Bangkok so much. Like, it was the city, like, it was way more than I expected. Like, I don't know if I had set my bar really, really low or what, but I was over the moon with everything once I got there. And Samira was like, I just thought it was gonna be street food everywhere, and like, so she wasn't expecting to see the city and all of the big, beautiful buildings and the skyscrapers and just everything. It was so much more developed and beautiful than a lot of things that people show, because people only show things like either street food or like on some tour somewhere, looking at elephants, tigers, or going into a temple or a mountain. So for us, it was a completely beautiful experience, especially coming from an island. My entire country has only 393,000 people. So now I'm in this city with millions of people, and it's like always busy and always something to do with the lights and the skylines and everything. And my accommodations were really nice, and with the view that I had in the room that I was in, I could see so much of the city, and I completely loved it. Fell in love with Bangkok. But I also wanted to see a little bit more of Thailand, and we ended up visiting Chiang Mai. We ended up visiting Pattaya, and kind of like those places too. I really liked Chiang Mai because it had the feel that I wanted for Zamira and I. It was family friendly, and there was a really cool, close-knit community, and I was down with that. Because at the end of the day, even though I moved halfway across the world, I still want to see faces that look like mine. I still want my daughter to be influenced by people that look like us and know that, hey, this isn't abnormal. This is something that is seriously good for us. It's attainable. It's something that we can do. And so all of those things assisted in my decision in moving to Chiang Mai, which I really like. And now that I'm here all these months later, I realize that I did not do enough in Chiang Mai. My mom says that she felt like I was always doing something, but when I think about it, I didn't do enough. But Chiang Mai was really good. My family came to visit me for Christmas. It was amazing having my son there, having my mom there. They spent a month with me, and then the day after they left, another friend came and she visited me, and she stayed for about a month, but she was in and out because she visited other places while she was there. She just made my home her hub during her travel. And so, I don't know, those are basically the steps that I took to my happiness. I know that talking about my family visiting isn't in those steps, but I'm just gonna go over it real quick. So the steps were, I had to make up my mind that I was done and be serious about the decision. I talked to my mom, and talking to her helped me because I had tried moving before in 2008 and it just never happened, and I felt kind of guilty about leaving my mom and leaving my son. And so she was like, I'm not going to guilt you anymore. You know, if this is something you feel as though you had to do, you've been saying you wanted to do this for so long, I bless you. And it's not that I needed her permission to go, I just wanted her blessing to go. And so I got that, and that made me really happy. And she was like, wherever you go, I'm going to be happy for you. And you just don't know how good that made me feel. And my mom and I are besties. So it's really important. Her opinion is always very important to me. And so I'm grateful for that. So first things first, made the decision, did the research, talked to my family about about it, talked to a couple of my friends about it as well, started my savings plan like I was on a mission. And once I did that, that's it. You just have to be committed. You can't listen to doubters because there are going to be people that tell you, oh, you can't save this money in this period of time. Oh, you can't just jump up and go to this place. Oh, people don't really do that. People do these things all the time. And I can do whatever I want to do. And I can do that because I put myself in a position to do it. It's not like I'm trying to do it based on anyone else or because someone else did it. This was truly something for me. If I was doing something that everyone else did, I would go along with the, why don't you just move to the States? I didn't want to live in the States. I'm like, people in America hardly want to live in America. Like, why are you trying to keep me, so close? Like, why do you feel like you need to have a finger on me? And so I knew that I needed to get far away, and this journey has shown me things that I didn't even know that I needed to find, that I didn't even know that I was looking for. And so I am completely thankful for every single moment that has gotten us this far. And so here we are now in Da Nang, and we have been here officially longer than we have been in Thailand. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Month 7 of being in Da Nang, Vietnam. Unfortunately, I have not been able to go anywhere else because of the pandemic. I haven't been able to travel to other cities the way that I wanted to. Like, I was making plans and some of those plans just didn't work out. People change their minds, people bail, and it just reminded me once again that I can't make my decisions based on anyone else. Like, when I want to do something, I just have to do it. And so I'm a lot better, I think, at that now. So if I'm able to do anything when the borders open back up, and hopefully they open back up pretty soon, it would be great. If not, there's always next time. This year I had planned several trips. I had started a little company to do tours around Southeast Asia, and some of them were actually at home in the Bahamas as well, because I was going home to recharge my bank account. So I was going to do a carnival tour on one of the islands and doing like the swimming pigs and all this stuff. But things just didn't work out. A lot of things didn't work out this year, and it's not only me, and I keep reminding myself of this because I'm like, you failed. But it's not that I failed, like the world just did what it did, and so everyone's just dealing with what it is, and there's always next year. Yes, I have just spent all of this money building this website and putting in all of this work, and I had like my friends really helping me, and oh my god, I appreciate them so much, because I would be texting, and because of the time difference, and I'm like making demands on these people like I was paying them a salary. But I mean, all I could say is that is love because my friends were really there for me, and my mom, and they really helped me to get this business that hasn't really taken off yet, but it's called Eve Retreats International, and it will take off. Things aren't going to stay like this forever. I think that there's going to be a new normal. There's no back to normal, but things won't stay like this forever, and we can always have plan B. And so when the time arises, I'm going to work on that again and get everything together. But for the meanwhile, I'm going to try not to go completely nuts in lockdown, and I'm going to see what else I can do here in Da Nang, even if I can't get anywhere else. Like, I have done really interesting things even just here. Notably, I did the Highland Pass, which is one of the most beautifully scenic routes apparently in the world, and I am proud to say that I did that. It was absolutely breathtaking. I love the experience. I went with amazing people, and then we found like this little path, and we did this hike down into this, like, I don't know what you call it, like a little river / waterfall thing. And we went through these train tracks. It was so beautiful. You could find all of this on my Instagram page because I posted about it. It was just such a lovely experience. I would definitely do it again. but I can't wait for things to open up, and I hope that this video has been helpful. I talked about a lot of stuff, not necessarily the things that I said that I was going to talk about, and maybe that's just my style. Maybe I'm just a talker. I don't know. I'm figuring all of this stuff out, and I'm glad that I have people that are going to be here to watch me grow in this particular journey, because this is definitely something new for me, because I really don't like putting myself out there. It's so hard. I don't know how people do this, because as soon as people see you like on a screen, or like, I don't know, they think that you're not human and that they can say anything to you, or they act like they know you. And I know this because I have friends that do this type of stuff, and they show me things and I'm like, what? How rude. But I'm gonna hope that nobody's ever that rude to me, and if they are, that my skin is thick enough to handle it. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching, and once again I want to say, please be sure to subscribe and like and share my videos. I would like to get my subscribers up and show you a bit more about the transition and being a travel mom, and I can help guide you in whatever steps that you may need. If it's something that you would like to do, if you want to make a jump in any area of your life, I am definitely the person to contact, because I am not only excellent at listening, I am great at giving wonderfully positive advice. And sometimes that's just what we need. That's just the key to everything that we need. Someone that's positive and motivating in our life, that has no ulterior motives. Like, I have no reason to tell you yes or no, but just to encourage you to do whatever it is that you're dreaming. We all have dreams, and there's someone always trying to just hold us down from that. And if we could find the person that's going to hold our hand through it instead of hold us back from it, I think that that's a wonderful thing. And so, as the jump coach, I want to do that for you, and as the day in daily travels, I want to help you find out about my experiences, our experiences, and about our journey, and also about where we're going.